In 1989, Tony Lewis Sr. was convicted of being a part of a 29-person conspiracy. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Today, we have come to discuss Tony Lewis Sr. being a free man. So, before we get into this video, I want to thank the subscriber that I seen in the 7-Eleven recently. They prompted me to do this video here and also let me know something that I didn't know. My subscriber let me know that I need to do a video on Tony Lewis being out of prison now. And I was like, wow, didn't even know that. And also, this kind man gave me a lot of encouragement on starting back covering street legends. I did take a good break on talking about street legends as a whole because I didn't want anybody else to put me in a box, as well as I felt like I was putting myself in a box. But I have to shake that mindset because I can take accountability in the situation and say that I was being stubborn, but after this video, it's going to be another street legend video, and then another street legend video. Like, I'm going to start back on my shit. I know that's something that y'all really like, so let me stop being stubborn and get back into it. Now, all of the videos where I've covered Tony Lewis's story and his life will be in my description below. But just to give you a brief synopsis, just in case you've never heard the name and you don't know what he is known for and what is tied to his past. Tony Lewis has served 3 decades in prison for his role in the drug game, as well as being one of the most notorious crack cocaine crime rings that DC has ever seen. During the height of the crack epidemic, a lot of young black men fell into selling crack, rationalized it, glorified it, or they started smoking it, or the crimes got worse and worse for the type of money that it can bring. In those times, you were either a small fish or a big fish. Some small fishes grow big, but most of them, in my opinion, they don't. And in a tank, if there are small fishes that stay small, those are easy prey. You can easily just suck it down the rabbit hole and it's over, right? The big fish can consume the small fish, and either the big fish lives a lot longer because it just keeps eating. You feel what I'm saying? Or the big fish gets held down by the weight. Now, in the judicial system, it's the total opposite. It only takes one small fish. It could be a very, very small fish that takes down a big fish in the judicial system. For example, a small fish could be an innocent bystander that done seen something and they want to say something and they don't mind getting on that stand and turning into a witness. That could be the small fish. Another small fish is a low-ranking member of these certain organizations that, because they are tied to the organization, it don't matter their ranking and what roles they had in it and how minute or small they were. In the judicial system, that small fish, whatever that small fish has to say, is going to be backed by the prosecution. But it only takes one. In 1989, Tony Lewis Sr. was convicted of being a part of a 29-person conspiracy. As a result, the judge handed him a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He was found guilty of conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute more than 5 kilos of cocaine, and the list goes on and on as far as those charges. Tony Lewis Sr. was tied to and close friends with Rayful Edmond, who ironically did the same amount of time in prison. Rayful, Melvin Butler, and Tony Lewis were the big fishes. Under them was guys that they trusted, but it got a little tricky because the guys that they trusted girls, which were their girlfriends, and incorporated them into this organization. It didn't stop at girlfriends. It was also family members and things to that nature. But as I said, those men were the big fishes, and it was testimony from small fishes within the organization and people that knew Rayful and went to school with him. Small fishes like Miss Kay Sellers, who was a school friend of Rayful's, and she was a girlfriend of James Antonio Jones at some point in time, and Mr. Jones was a part of Rayful's organization. And as the indictment fell, many more people within their organization fell like dominoes. But I'll tell you who didn't fall. Tony Lewis Sr. didn't fall or break, and neither did his son. His son, Tony Lewis Jr., is a huge reason why his father is a free man today. He has worked day in and day out advocating for his father while pleading that his father is a changed man. Tony Lewis Jr. was 9 years old when his father was convicted, and he is now 42 years old with a family of his own, all of which he has raised up to love his father, their grandfather, and to support him in this journey. Roughly 34 years ago, Tony Lewis Jr. decided to step up, stand by his father, and do the impossible, or what a lot of us think is impossible. A lot of young minority children, teens, and young adults want their parents or parent or family members to have a second chance at living life as a civilian, a law-abiding citizen. But many don't know what the first move is, or who they can run to, who will listen to their story, and who will deem it as important. But this right here is what we all need as motivation and to inspire us in situations like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be you fighting for your family's freedom. To generalize this, I would say, in a situation where you expect to be let down and you expect to be told no, and you expect to be told, listen, this person is a criminal, they shouldn't be let out at any point, where you expect the worst, but you come out on top. Once you come out on top, you will know that all of your hard work was worth it. I'm sure at times Tony Lewis Jr. got let down quite a few times in this process, but he never stopped advocating. And what we also see in our community a lot is children that, have one parent or both parents locked behind bars. They build this resentment. It could be towards the person that's locked up, their family member. Or it could be towards the judicial system itself. It is remarkable to me that all of these years he's remained very positive and he has continued forward. For decades. And that pressure of it feeling like you're doing time. You know what I mean? It feeling like you're doing time because you're waiting to have this special bond. This bond where I can hug and I can touch and I can reach out and I can call you whenever I want to. You can call me whenever you want to. Like the simple things in life that when your loved one is behind bars, you can't buy that. You just can't buy the simple things because everything is so controlled. And people will say now, oh yeah, you can buy a cell phone and then get it took and then get extra time and then get put in a hole and all these other things that's not worth it. He did his time, and now he gets to be the father, and more so the grandfather, you know, that he never got the chance to be. And I would say that this is a chance and an opportunity for him to prove to himself that he can do it. People like this, I pray that they become successful and they become those providers that they want to be, but going completely legal. He has a damn good story to tell. He has valuable lessons to tell the youth. Millions of people could be inspired by the challenges he faced and how he stood 10 toes on it for 30 plus years. And that's something that a lot of people that's walking around free today can't comprehend. They can't comprehend not naming and pointing a finger at others to lessen their sentence. They can't fathom, you know, not turning state's evidence or, you know, just doing something that would make it really hard for you to come back out into the world and live a long life. A lot of people think that snitching, okay, you can go home to your family, but what happens when you do go home to your family and you are a disgrace in a lot of people's eyes in the surrounding area, and it makes it completely dangerous for you and the loved ones that you was running back to. So I salute him and I wish him the best. It's a lot for him to learn out here. The world has changed a lot. Some things haven't, you know what I mean? And people like this also, I would love for them to sit down with these young men, you know, and game them. Teach them game on how to date. Teach them game on how to court a female, on how to like do things like that, but how to be a man. Okay? In Mr. Lewis's time, a lot of those men, they had children that they weren't there for them growing up for, right? And that's because they're deceased. These young men, they running around here like they don't have daddies. And that's sad enough. They're not going to say it. They're not going to say how angry and how frustrated they are that either their father didn't want nothing to do with them, or their parents in general ain't want nothing to do with them, and they're taking it out on the whole world or the whole DC area. I think that these young men need it. They need the game. Because they say that if a woman is raising young boys, it's going to be something wrong with them. That's what they said. I don't really think so. I beg to differ. A lot of different factors come into that, but good men and men with good qualities, it doesn't matter your background. And his background specifically, it makes it even better. Because without even saying words, he can teach you a lot, right? But when he speaks, y'all need to listen. And I'm going to be ready for it. So without further ado, I'm going to get on out of here. It's your girl, B. Octavia. In the comments below, we ain't got to say free Tony Lewis no more. He already free. He free now. He's a free man. Salute to Tony Lewis. Salute to his son. Salute to the Lewis family. And I'm going to see y'all in my next one.